Can you dream of fighting with monsters in a candy kingdom with a talking dog as your best friend?
Let's trash it and throw a party!
Well, when you're having an adventure time, such dreams become reality. Adventure Time is a crazy animated American TV show that features 10 seasons and over 280 fun episodes. They are all full of talking candy people, vampire rock stars, and even grumpy ice kings. Now, let's get some context. Finn and Jake, two best friends, are always ready to fight these bad guys, save princesses in trouble, and solve mysterious puzzles in the Land of Ooo. They prove that friendship can conquer anything. Although you meet dozens of characters in Adventure Time, the main villains like the Lich, an evil entity bent on destroying all life, Golb, a chaotic figure, and Hunson Abadir, the powerful demon, create a haunting fear. At the same time, Finn and Jack end the chaos through their smart actions. Season 1, Episode 1, Evicted. The first episode starts on a stormy night when Jake tells Finn a scary vampire story while sitting in their treehouse. Suddenly, a mysterious figure appears at the window. It's actually Marceline, a nice lady vampire. She wins their trust by telling them interesting stories from this Land of Ooo. Then she kicks them out by proving that this treehouse belongs to her, not them. Additionally, she thanks them for taking care of the house in her absence. Thrown out of their treehouse on a rainy night, Finn and Jack try to find some shelter. They go through many crazy adventures. Finally, they find a cave. But surprisingly, Marceline comes here again and claims that the cave also belongs to her, as she used to live there too. Finn is unhappy to leave the cave, but Jake cheers him up by telling him that they can live anywhere as long as they're good friends. So, they're ready to leave the cave. It doesn't stop here. Marceline wants to have Jack too. Her discovery turns into a thrilling fight. During the fight, she kisses Jack, but that makes Finn so angry that he punches her. However, the fight proves good in the end, and they become friends. Now, she even lets them keep their old house. Season 2, Episode 25, Mortal Folly. This serious episode begins with Finn, Jake, and Princess Bubblegum attempting to meditate. During the meditation, they see different visions. Finn sees himself as a superhero. Jake sees Lady Rainicorn on a horse. Princess Bubblegum finds herself in the heart of the tree that forms the Candy Kingdom. There, she sees a scary monster, Lich, who is imprisoned by the legendary hero Billy. Unfortunately, a little snail sets Lich free by cracking the amber. Now the Lich is free to achieve his goal of killing everybody in the Land of Ooo. He's getting stronger. Princess Bubblegum gives Finn Billy's gauntlet to stop him. At this point, Ice King interrupts, and Lynch gets a chance to reach his well of power. The situation becomes stressful as the Ice King kidnaps Princess Bubblegum. Finn and Jake chase the Lich. During the chase, Finn fights skeletal guards, but his protective jewelry breaks. The fight ends when Finn defeats the Lich with Bubblegum's sweater, charged with the magical power of love. However, the episode ends at the most intense point, when the Ice King accidentally drops Bubblegum into the Lich's well. Season 3, Episode 9, Fiona and Cake. This fun episode begins with the Ice King performing a reading of his fanfiction story, Fiona and Cake. As he reads, he is confronted by a familiar figure in this fictional story. Finn appears as Fiona, a brave female adventurer living with Cake, the cat who is actually Jack but not a dog. In the story, it's a sunny day. These fictional characters are exploring the woods when they meet Prince Gumball, who lives in a candy kingdom. Terrifying Ice King chases Prince Gumball. Fiona fights the Ice King with her trusty sword. Thankfully, she wins, and Prince Gumball is grateful to her for this help. After the victory, they move towards the Candy Castle. It's a land of lollipop and gumdrop houses. Fiona meets Gumball's friend Marshall Lee, a rock star vampire. Suddenly, the Ice King attacks again. This time, he's kidnapped Gumball's cousin, Princess Bubblegum. Season 6, Episode 7, Food Chain. The following episode opens up with Candy Kids sliding down a food-themed playground. Finn and Jack see different creatures eating each other there as a part of the food chain. Princess Bubblegum is shown teaching kids about the food chain, so they learn about predatory relationships. Suddenly, a magical prankster named Magic Man turns them into birds. They fly to a desert oasis, but Finn can't eat anything because of his bird beak. The more miserable the situation becomes, The more miserable the situation becomes when a giant bird tries to eat them. At this point, Magic Man changes Finn into the giant bird, and now he's hungry for Jake. But before Finn can eat Jake, Magic Man immediately turns him into mini bacteria instead. Jake is saved, but more misery happens again. The bacteria eat the dead bird, then turn into flowers that caterpillars eat. Finn, as a caterpillar, falls in love with a girl caterpillar named Erin. Excited to begin a new life, they find an oasis and almost get married. But then birds eat them both. Back in their own bodies, Finn finally understands the food chain and sings a song about it with Princess Bubblegum. The episode ends with Finn transforming through all the food chain stages, while the bored candy kids leave. Season 7, Episode 20, Bad Jubies. In this episode, Finn, Jake, BMO, and a lumpy space princess take shelter in a poorly made bunker during a storm. They start chatting, but a storm warning interrupts their talk. It's an emergency situation. Finn, BMO, and LSP work together to make a bunker, but Jake doesn't take any interest in helping them. LSP gets angry at Jake for not helping, but Jake reveals he's been studying nature sounds. However, instead of believing him, LSP still argues and leaves in anger. Just as the storm hits, they all gather in the bunker, bored and hungry, and the storm breaks through the bunker entrance. Everyone gets upset, and Jake explains the storm is made of bad vibes. He believes his nature sounds can fix it. Jake starts making bird calls, water noises, and other calming sounds. The storm even enters the bunker, but the sounds make it curious. They all convince the storm to listen to their nature music, which they enjoy. To their surprise, the storm admits it hasn't heard nature sounds in its whole life, which explains its bad mood. Jake gives the storm the music, and it leaves to explore nature. Everyone apologizes to Jake for not trusting him, and they all learn a lesson about bad vibes and the power of nature. Season 9, Episode 14, 3 Buckets. The following episode starts with Fern inviting Finn to spend quality time in ancient ruins, while BMO and Jake head to the Music Kingdom and end up playing in a field. Finn and Fern play rock, paper, scissors near the ancient ruins. However, when Finn wins in rock, paper, scissors, Fern complains about fairness. Actually, Fern finds the game boring and craves excitement. They enter a hidden temple, and Finn tells Fern they're like brothers. But Fern locks Finn inside and reveals he wants to replace him. Finn escapes the temple using his robotic arm. He also gets a secret message from Princess Bubblegum. He's angry at Fern. Fern says Finn has had his turn as the hero, and it's time for someone new. During the fight, Fern's eyes glow creepily, furious and jealous. Finn activates a weed whacker setting on his arm, which shreds Fern. With a sense of loss, Finn returns home. As Jake and BMO comfort him, a mysterious figure takes Fern's remains and disappears. Thus, the episode ends with another mystery. Season 10, Episode 14, 15, and 16. Come along with me. These episodes tie together all the different stories that have been happening in the Land of Ooo. The last episode, Come Along With Me, is extra long and has everyone from the show. It wraps up all the main stories like Princess Bubblegum and her uncle, Finn versus the evil Fern, and Betty trying to help the Ice King. This finale episode takes place in a far-off future, where Ooo has changed a lot. Two new friends, Beth and Shermie, find Finn's robot arm and become curious about the past. BMO, a loyal friend of Finn and Jake, tell Shermie the story of the Great Gum War, a massive conflict between Princess Bubblegum's Candy Kingdom and her grumpy uncle, Gumbold. He tells how Finn, the show's main character, tries to stop the war from happening. The action heats up. Princess Bubblegum and Gumbold end up trapped in a dream world along with Finn and Fern. They fight and face their past mistakes. Back in the real world, a giant monster appears and attacks everyone. Adventure Time heroes, including Finn, Jake, and Marceline the Vampire Queen, fight back to save Ooo. Sadly, Betty, a character who loved the Ice King, sacrifices herself to defeat the monster, but becomes part of it instead. Back in the future, Beth and Shermie learn how Ooo was rebuilt after the war, and how the characters we know and love found happiness. Finn and Jake planted a new tree where their old treehouse used to be, symbolizing new beginnings. The finale is emotional because it says goodbye to the beloved characters while giving them happy endings. The finale episodes are exciting because of the big battle against the monster. Fans loved it because it tied up all the loose ends and showed how Ooo continued to be a magical place, even after Finn and Jake's adventures ended.
Clear your minds.
So, this is how our journey ends through the chilling and heart-pounding adventures of the Adventure Time seasons. Let us know in the comments which cartoon series you want us to cover next. Till then, goodbye.